Okay, can you see me now?
Yes, I can very well. How are you?
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for asking. What about you?
Yeah, I'm very well too. Thank you. Um, so
Actually,
before you say anything, I want to ask you. So you ping me on Skype and put a comment on YouTube as well, right?
okay, okay.
You did
So,
you put a comment on YouTube, right? Because I got one Anand commenting me on yeah. Okay, and you're a teacher.
yes, yeah, I'm a teacher in Patna.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. So, you know what, Anand, I thought that you had a YouTube channel when you said that you're a teacher.
No, actually, earlier I had, but after uploading 15, 20 videos, actually, last year I actually stopped uploading. So,
Oh, did
uh,
you? That's a
I,
shame. You should have continued.
no, yeah, I should have continued, but apart from teaching in school, actually, I teach in some coaching institute as well. That's why I hardly get time, for all these things.
Oh, all right. But you don't really need to spend much time. You just need to upload. It doesn't really take much time. Just upload it. You should upload this video.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think we are meeting for the first time. So do you want me to introduce?
Yes, please, of course. I would love you to have your introduction.
My name is Anand. I'm from Patna. It's the capital of Bihar. And by profession, I'm a teacher. I teach in a private school.
Yeah.
And I've been teaching for the last 7, 8 years. And as far as my qualification is concerned, I completed my graduation in English literature in 2018. And now I'm teaching in a school. And I think as far as English is concerned, I want to be a good public speaker. That's why nowadays actually I'm having conversation with so many YouTubers.
Yeah.
So and actually on Sunday I was scrolling some videos on YouTube, and then I stumbled upon your videos, and so I made up my mind to have conversation with you.
Oh, that's so sweet of you. I appreciate it that you approached me. Yeah, I love to connect with everyone from whether you have YouTube or not, doesn't matter. Um, and yeah, and it's really interesting that you've done your English literature, yeah, and you're now teaching in a school. And what age group you teach?
I teach students from 5th to 10th standard.
Fifth to 10th standard. Okay, right. So how long you have been teaching for now? So
I think
2018, 2016 is when you finished your graduation, yeah? So,
I think after completing graduation, I started teaching. So I think it's been more than 7 years.
okay, and you teach not in a school, right? You said in a coaching institute, right? You said coaching.
Apart from teaching in school, I teach in one coaching institute, and
Oh, okay.
I teach only competitive students, so those who prepare for different competitive exams like SSC and banking.
Oh, okay. Oh, banking now. Right. Yeah. So do you have then a syllabus? What kind of syllabus do you follow for coaching the bank students? What level of
Uh,
English do they need?
Different coaching center has uh, its own syllabus to follow. So the syllabus is provided by the coaching owner. I have to just
Right.
I have to just complete the syllabus on time.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just wondering what kind of difficulty or what level of English you teach there. Like when it comes to banking, because I've not written any bank tests.
As far as a competitive English is concerned, actually questions are asked from a common error. Some questions are from filler, some
Oh,
antonyms, some one word substitution, idioms and phrases. These type of questions are asked in competitive examinations.
and is that all written exam or is it oral as well?
It is completely written exam.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, it's completely written. That's why many students, despite having a deep knowledge, deep understanding, they actually struggle while speaking. So, because they have nothing to do with oral
Yeah.
speaking.
Yes.
When it comes to interview, facing interview, actually they have to actually join any coaching center for
Okay.
cracking interview.
Yeah, yeah, that's nice because I know that everybody struggles despite somebody having their grammar foundation really strong, they can still struggle with speaking.
Especially people from Bihar, actually they struggle a lot while speaking because
Why is
uh,
that?
actually even in private school, actually they hardly get opportunity to talk with the people. Actually, too much emphasis is on grammar. That's why uh,
Right.
students from Bihar, they are very good with grammar, but when it comes to speaking, they struggle.
Hmm. Right. Yeah, it's a and also it is a mother tongue influence maybe. Um, right.
Uh,
So
it's a mother tongue influence, and in private school, actually in Bihar, 70-80% private schools actually their medium is actually Hindi. They actually
ah,
they explain each and everything in English. I've seen many teachers explaining grammar in Hindi. English grammar
right.
English grammar in Hindi. That's also the reason why students struggle.
No wonder. That's terrible, actually. Yeah. I mean, we have all gone through that, I think. I, I know that, yeah, we, especially with the pronunciation, and that's the reason why we pick up we learn the mispronunciation. And some say that there is no right or wrong pronunciation, but there is a neutral pronunciation. Like sometimes we have learned really wrong pronunciation from the teachers because obviously they can't be blamed either. You know why? Because in the olden days there was not much of resources that we have that are available these days compared to now. They didn't have. All they had was like textbooks and you know what, and when on even if you listen to news or something, and if you have a particular question in your mind, if you want to clarify something, there is no way that now if I don't know the pronunciation for a particular word, then I can just go to Google and ask for pronunciation, or YouTube, it is there. But those days they didn't have.
Actually, as far as students in Bihar are concerned, they hardly know, the role of pronunciation in English. Actually, when they start learning English, the first thing they are taught is translation. So yeah, they are taught, they are taught a translation, and then actually they translate from their mother tongue to English. But as far as I think it's a big hurdle. It's very difficult to learn a language through translation. Translation, I think, is a hurdle. Actually, it's a big hurdle as far as fluency is concerned. You can't gain fluency if you learn any language through translation. But students are taught translation first.
That's an interesting one. I would differ that, with respect to the with what you said, that translation. I don't know about how much it applies to English, but it has definitely immensely helped me uh, with when it comes to learning Hindi. So I learned Hindi through these translation exercises.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, there is a maybe difference between Hindi and English when it comes to translating and then learning. But how I learned Hindi, I used to go to a teacher who had a little translation book. Yeah, she had lots of Hindi paragraphs, and then yeah, or vice versa as well, like Malayalam. this is my mother tongue. So from Malayalam to Hindi. So that way I learned a lot actually. She's the pillar of my, if I speak, if I can speak really well, like 95% I can speak today. I would thank her because I learned through the translation and
Oh,
watching. And another thing I have to, I couldn't, I shouldn't forget that I learned through watching Hindi serials and movies. Mhm.
actually, when I was in school, actually, my father brought me one translation book, and he actually suggested me if you can master this book, you will start speaking. So I started actually learning translation, and then actually. When actually I was in graduation, I was pursuing graduation. My professor actually told me translation is a big hurdle. The
Oh,
thing, yeah, the thing you need is actually communication to different people. So you have to
right.
talk to people unless or until you talk to people. It is very difficult to gain fluency.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I agree. Because translation mainly helps with getting your um, the sentence formation or grammar. You know, it helps with grammar especially because when you translate, you learn. You are unknowingly learning the grammar basics. But for fluency, obviously, you need to speak to people to get the hang of it. So yeah, so it has to go hand in hand, I would say, because you definitely need your grammar foundation right. Then only uh, you don't need to be really you don't need to really know advanced grammar or advanced vocabulary, but you should have a bit of everything. Then you can speak well or speak in a decent manner.
So, ma'am, you are in England, I think, right now.
Yes, yes, yes.
How is life in England?
Life in England is nice. I quite enjoy it here. Uh, it's just that I miss the people in India, obviously, because my parents live there. My most of my family live there, and I live here with my husband and my 12-year-old son. Um, and it's been over 13 years I've been living here. So I'm kind of used to living here. It in the early days, it was really a struggle, like especially when it comes to food habits um, and the weather. The climate is totally different here from we have in my uh, where I'm originally from is Kerala. It's a very tropical region, so I I am somebody who would sweat a lot. You know, that's the kind of weather there. Here there is no humidity, so you don't really sweat. It's most of the time it's like kind of you feel a kind of dry air. It's dry air is what you feel here, and that's what is around you. So um, yeah, the weather is totally different. Um,
Actually, ma'am, in morning, actually, I told my students that today or tomorrow I'll have a conversation with one ma'am from England. So actually, my students actually told me to ask you one question regarding accent. How to gain actually British accent, staying
okay.
in India itself.
Yeah, of course. So I do not have British accent. I'm kind of neutral. But getting British accent is actually um, I don't know if you want to really strive for getting that British accent, but um, you can copy a lot of words, you know, what they say, and at least like how I am speaking, maybe it's kind of neutral, but a little more than neutral, maybe because the intonation and a lot of things that you pick up. Well, how we can pick it up is only through watching British uh, conversations. So I have found that some of the YouTube channels like uh, English with Lucy, she has really a lot of good content out there which you can copy. She even has shadowing exercises. So That I think is, if you keep watching, you can definitely, copy it, or that's one thing. And watching BBC News definitely helps. So, but if somebody is really keen to, acquire that British accent or American accent for that matter, is watching this similar programs, be it news. You can mostly, you can pick up, very polished, standard. Um, the way they talk is really standard and classy. But if you want to get a hold of the kind of, get the local accent or the slangs they use, then watching movies, uh, or movies, because movies can be really, sometimes it can be difficult to understand, and to be when you start, because they speak really fast, and they shrink a lot of, words when they say, like, they shorten it. So you wouldn't, even sometimes I struggle with certain, words when they say. You have to then check the subtitle to see what they said. So because they, just like how we speak in our native language, we just, we kind of shorten a lot of words, right? It just comes like very, um, when we speak in a really flowing way, you will just skip, even you may skip a few words in between, short, what do you call it, some syllables also, I think you tend to skip, which you can only, get used to by watching those movies.
By
And
watching,
also, if,
by
yeah, watching movies, and also if you speak to different people from different region here, like Scotland. Scotland has, they have different accent. It's totally, they speak different. A lot of words they say, like, what is that? A funny one, like, uh, they tend to say, uh, but I forgot, they use, instead of say ah, they say ooh. When we say ah, there you say ooh. So we will wonder what it is. So because, unless, so just like, how, I'm from Kerala, and I'm from the south of Kerala, and the north of Kerala, they speak with a different accent. I don't know if it is there in Bihar. Do you have that in the Bihar? Various regions, do you have different accents?
yeah, actually, people in Bengal, they have their own accent.
Yeah.
People,
What about Bihar? Do you have in Bihar?
yeah, I'm from Bihar.
Yeah, but do you have similar, different regions of Bihar? Do you have different accents?
No, actually, as far as English is concerned,
Not
actually,
English, not English. I'm not talking about English. Bhojpuri, right? You speak Bhojpuri.
in Bihar, people speak different dialect.
Yeah.
Most of the people speak Hindi, but they speak different dialect. Like Bhojpuri is also one of the language.
Oh, and
Uh,
Maithili. Maithili is there, right?
Mathli, yeah,
Yeah.
Mathli is also the famous language they speak.
And
Actually,
Magahi. Magahi, right? Magda.
Maghi, yeah, actually, at home I speak Maghi.
Oh, really? Oh, so and you can speak all three, my Maithili, Maghi, and Bihari. No, Bhojpuri.
The main language actually I speak is Hindi, but at home, especially with my mother, I speak in Maghi because she speaks Maghi. And but I can speak Bhojpuri, but not so fluently. I can
Oh.
speak a little bit of Mathli, but I don't know how Mathli is spoken. Because actually I'm from Patna, and it's a capital of Bihar, and very few people actually know Mathli.
Oh, that's interesting, because where I'm from Kerala, we have only one language there. In Bihar, we have three languages. That's very interesting. Yeah.
So
So yeah, so coming back to your original question, getting the British accent is only through watching. You have to shadow, keep practice, because have you seen? you know, the actress Shraddha Kapoor. Have you seen her?
Yeah,
Her
yeah.
she speaks. She has really that skill to, you know, copy any accent. That's really a skill, I should say. But yeah.
There is one girl from Haryana. That girl is called Wonder Girl.
Oh yeah, I
Jan,
know. Janvi.
Jan.
Yeah, Janvi. Yeah, yeah.
She can speak in a different accent.
Yeah, yeah, that's totally a different skill actually. So it is really possible if somebody is really willing to, spend put in that effort, then they can really. But I just what I speak is like whatever I pick up from my surroundings. Like here, my son speaks. He was born here, so he speaks. So I speak to him in English. So when I speak to him, obviously, I have he is with me like most of the time. So I speak to. Then I speak to my colleagues here. They are also British. So that's how I. So yeah, speaking is definitely is. So I would say tell your students like if they there are a lot of apps where you can speak to native speakers, but I don't know how much they charge. But you can they can definitely help with it because when you speak to a native speaker, it's totally different. You and they can also give some ideas and to help like little tricks to.
Nowadays, actually, there are some people who are very beginner. They have just started learning it, but
Ah,
actually, yeah, they want to learn this language only from native speaker.
oh,
Only
really?
only because of accent. They are actually mad about this accent.
Ah, no, no, that's not at all required. When you to speak a language, I would say give them this best example of Shashi Tharoor. You know Shashi Tharoor?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
I know
he
him.
speaks. Oh, he's an English scholar. And your video is stuck. Actually, can you still see me?